Good morning. How you guys doing? It's Mike back with the thought of the day on June 25th, 2025. First, I want to give honor and praise to Ahaya Shoahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Rakadas, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Then I like to open with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May your will, not mine, be done. Today I want to talk about Joe McHugh. I think that's how you say his name and last name, MCQ, Joe. Um, Brother that set the foundation for black men in AA. And I got to give a shout out to this brother because I can imagine the how tough it was for him to attend those meetings back in the 60s, dealing with racism and things of that nature, but he still wanted to be sober. You know what I mean? And I'm reading about this brother because the the rock he set for us as brothers to go into this fellowship, to be able to try to get sober, to try to find God. You know what I'm saying? And this is, I don't feel it's breaking his anonymity because he has went public. He has wrote books. He had did series. He did talks. He did classes. So he had brought his anonymity out. And I think the brother most likely has passed away, being that he was doing this way back then. I could be wrong, but all right. So when Joe Q first got sober in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1962, he became the first black person to join AA in Arkansas. The AA group finally let him attend, but with the provision that Joe was not to arrive early, not to stick around after the meeting was over, and not to drink their coffee. For Joe, the isolation from fellowship meant the big book was his primary source of recovery information. Joe and Charlie P. first met at a convention in 1973. They found a common interest in the big book and met whenever they could. What started in informal hotel room gatherings later evolved into the first public Joe and Charlie Big Book study in Lawton, Oklahoma in 1977. A tape recording was made of their session and the copies began quietly circulating around other AA groups. Joe Q was chosen to be the closing speaker at the 8th International Convention in Montreal in 1987. Joe and Charlie tapes had boomed and became very popular, especially in the AA culture. They break down each step, and their tapes is just great ways to learn about each step and to learn about the program itself. I had no idea that Joe was a brother. You know what I'm saying? My sponsor sent this to me. I'm happy that he gave me this information. And I'm just thinking about the things he had to go through. He couldn't come to the meeting early. He couldn't drink the coffee. He couldn't stay late. You know what I'm saying? But what some people might look at as a punishment, the Most High God used it as a tool to get him sharper. So he didn't go around and sulk and cry about getting treated unfairly. He studied the book. And when he studied the book, the Most High blessed him to be able to teach from that book and to teach people about recovery, man. He definitely taught some of the people probably that treated him wrong. And that's the spirit of God that comes through him, and the spirit of God that you could develop in this program. You know what I'm saying? And then him being isolated helped the Joe and Charlie tapes blow up. Now imagine if they would have let him in early, he might not have got that spirit to be able to really lock in and study the book. And Joe and Charlie probably would have never come to fruition, man. I just wanted to give a shout out to this brother, man, because I can imagine the courage it takes to go into these meetings knowing that people looking at you with the color of your skin. You know what I'm saying? I travel to certain meetings in certain places, and you get the different stares, you get the different looks. But when you want to get sober, man, you doing anything you can to get sober. This brother was willing to go beyond. They say to go to any length to get sober, and he showed that he was willing to go to any length to get sober. And it paid off, and not only did it pay off for him, the Most High used him in a position to be able to help other people. You know what I'm saying? I even listened to his tapes, man, and I'm definitely going to tune into it a little more now because I didn't know the history of this brother, and I want to thank my sponsor for sending me these joints, man. This joint is fire, man. Shout out to Joe Q and Joe McQ. shout out, brother, man. If you're going, but may um, rest easy, brother. You put in some great work. This is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom.